Alright, the second portion of this is going to be soldering on the pin onto the center conductor of the cable. The first things we want to do is we want to put flux onto the end of the cable. It doesn't require a lot, we just need to have a little bit on there. You can see it kind of gives it an amber color to it. Next thing we're going to do is put on the center pin. Center pin again will go all the way in, but should not block that hole there in the center. That's how you get the solder down into the connector itself. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to heat it up. As far as the soldering iron goes, just to be fair, this wasn't our first opportunity at this. We did do this once before. We did not have our soldering iron clean, and so we cleaned that up and got it a good edge. What you're seeing is the solder or the flux heating up. There we go. I got it nice and warm. Let it cool off. As soon as it cools off a little bit, we'll give a tug on the center pin. Make sure that it's on there firmly. I'm trying to expedite this a little bit by using these little pliers and giving it a tug. I wouldn't recommend that you actually do that. Next thing, we're going to be putting this together. So this here, the pin's going to go into there. It will be a tight fit. It's supposed to be a tight fit. If it's not a tight fit, then we probably have the wrong type of connector. These connectors are for LMR 400, and that is the cable that we ordered out. So as far as sliding it in there, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to push it in there and it will be snug. Just keep putting pressure on it, and you're going to come back to the jam nut. Now as far as the jam nut goes, you need to have a hold of the cable and the nut at the same time when you're tightening this down. The reason you're doing that is you're keeping the jam nut from spinning. Now we're just doing this finger tight. There are places on here on both the jam nut and the body itself for you put a pair of pliers on it. I would recommend that you actually get a wrench that fits both of those. Wrenches seems to work the best. Right now I currently have a little bit of a gap in there between the washer. We do not want to have that. So you'll be tightening this up until that gap goes away, so that washer is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Last but